TIFU by flying a drone for work without checking flight restrictions. Context for this story. I make wedding films and I often use a drone to capture certain sequences for my films. Clients love it, the drone is fun to fly, and the clips you can get out of drone footage really adds a nice flair to the films. I am licensed by the FAA to fly small drones, meaning that as long as I follow all the rules and regulations for the particular area/airspace I find myself in, I can fly my drone as much as I want for as long as I want. One important thing to notice is that the FAA can issue temporary flight restrictions for certain areas, meaning any drone is completely barred from flying in the area, regardless of the normal airspace classification. This will explain a lot going forward. I roll up to my set location as I typically do, with plenty of time to spare to set up my camera equipment. I just got my new suit dry cleaned, had a good breakfast, and lots of water. I was feeling very confident and ready to shoot a wedding video worthy of Hollywood. I walked around the property, a gorgeous, newly renovated inn in a very well-known vacation spot. Stones thrown from the ocean, the type of neighborhood that makes you wonder who lives here every 5 minutes. After taking a good look at my location, I decided it was time to fly my drone and grab those high-quality video clips. The wind was minimal, the sun was out, but not too bright. The perfect setup for a drone flight. I get the drone all ready to go and float it up into the air. I take it up a few hundred feet to grab a wonderful clip of the ocean with the beautiful houses in the background and grab a shot of the property. Satisfied with what I capture, after about 10 minutes, I brought my drone back down to the ground. I packed it away in my car and grabbed my usual camera and continued filming the exterior of the property. As I am doing this, I notice out of the corner of my eye 2 men in their mid-40s walking towards me. I pay them no mind and keep doing my thing. Eventually, instead of passing in front of me to go somewhere in the inn, one of them asked me, "Hey, were you flying that drone up there?" People love asking me about the drone wherever I am, so I resoundingly said, "Yeah, I got some wonderful shots of the ocean, weather's perfect," and so on and so forth. The man had a blank expression on his face, turned to the man to his right, and they both approached me, reaching into their pockets and reviewing 2 black wallet-looking things, and stopped me dead in my track. "Me and my partner here are with the Secret Service. We need to have a word with you, please." I was completely stunned. It took me a solid 5 seconds to say anything. I recall just staring at the both of them, completely unyielding in their glares. All I managed to say was, "Oh, wow, okay, sure." The badges they presented to me were absolutely the real deal after looking online after this event, and given the context of the situation that I unknowingly interrupted. They walked me over to a gray Suburban and essentially began to ask me a series of questions regarding what I'm doing here. Asked me why I have the drone, what type of drone it is, what's the name of the couple getting married, who are you working for? I answered everything to the best of my knowledge, both of these men keeping very calm and reserved the entire time I was being questioned, whereas I was nearly on the verge of a full-on panic attack. Was I about to be detained by the Secret Service? Why was the Secret Service even here? Am I going to have to tell my clients that I was detained by the Secret Service and missed their entire wedding? I was nearly certain I was about to be tossed into the back of that Suburban and treated like a domestic terrorist for the future. I truly haven't been so freaked out by anything in such a long time. After speaking with them for about 4 minutes, which felt like an eternity, they gave me a little bit of information in regards to what they were doing. I could feel their tone shift, and I was a little relieved, assuming they could tell I was being truthful. They proceed to tell me that where I was located and flying my drone was, no joke, 100 yards from the compound of a very recent former US president who happened to be in town alongside some of their family. If I had rotated the drone 180 degrees to the rear, I might have been able to capture a photo of said president if he was outdoors in the back of the property. They asked for my ID, the name of my business, and a phone number, to which I comply as hard as I possibly could have. They sort of exchanged glances at one another for a second and said they don't plan to do anything other than to warn me of the complete no-fly zone within 10 nautical miles of the area, and impress upon me, under no circumstances, fly that drone again. I told them there was absolutely zero chance I'll be caught dead flying that drone within 100 miles of here. They thought that was funny, and I managed to get a smile out of the dude who was leading the conversation. Strangely, from that point on, they got very candid and asked me more about the wedding, perhaps to see if I was really telling the truth, or just out of curiosity. Standard small talk. Weddings are too expensive these days, or I only had like 30 people at my wedding, but that was like back in 2006. I almost forgot I was talking to legit federal agents this entire time. Fortunately, they just reiterated the whole don't fly the drone thing again. I assured them once again it won't happen, and they got in their car and drove away. The whole interaction maybe took under 10 minutes, and I took a solid 5 to decompress in my car. I told my client what happened, to which I received a hearty laugh. Apparently, the couple was well aware of such things happening, assured me I was not the first and surely won't be the last, and that based off my experience, those guys were very lax with me. When we traveled from a church to the reception, I did see both of these gentlemen on the grounds outside, and my heart dropped in my chest. I assumed they absolutely could have gone unseen, but might have been there just warning me visually not to forget what they said. I didn't touch the drone for the remainder of the day, but the bride and groom seemed very pleased with the day, my performance, and are looking forward to their wedding film. TLDR, might have come close to being nabbed by the Secret Service for unknowingly flying a drone in a former president's backyard. Wow, I'm glad that the OP didn't get into real trouble with the Secret Service, and I'm glad that the OP remained calm and answered the questions of the Secret Service and was able to basically get out of it just by a warning. I think if I was in OP's position, I would be just like the OP, be really, really scared and nervous, and the Secret Service might take that as something suspicious, but I'm glad that the OP made it out okay. Let me know in the comments section, what would you have done in OP's situation? Would you be scared just like the OP? I would love to know what you guys think of the story too. And if you like these type of stories, remember to continue to like and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later.